I got some artifacts here, and I just want to get them in place so I can show things to you. Perfect. How many zipliners do we have in here?
Ever ziplined?
Been ziplining? Picture this. You're soaring through the air, 1,500 feet off the ground. And this time, you're not worried about stopping at the end. Because the zipline owner purchased auto braking trolleys. Today we're seeing auto braking trolleys going down the steepest of slopes. But the zipline industry has a dirty little secret. Over 60% of the accidents worldwide are braking related. He's on my team. It's okay, Hunter. Great.
Hey, Michael.
But we started stopping zipliners at Park City Mountain Resort in 2002. I built that zipline. Safest zipline in the world. Accident-free, confirmed again this year with Moose up there, one of the operators. Been there as old as I'm money. But I investigate the accidents. I see the problems. The dirty little secret involves this little pulley. Because what I make is trolleys. Pulleys account for more accidents, and they're the root cause of the industry's accidents. In fact, this one by Petzl, tandem speed pulley, was taken off the market probably because it was speedy. I was told that it travels at 95% gravity. Now, if you've ever fallen off a ladder, that's fast. But we have a solution. We have an auto braking trolley that stops zipliners on any zipline. The most recent case that I was part of was a wrongful death in Colorado. $205 million. And what's sad about the whole thing is one of the defendants I've investigated in 2017. You're going to see part of my report here. The defendant had a problem with restraints. The industry's got a problem. In 2017, this Soaring Eagle, and they're a group out of Utah, had a constraint problem then. Well, we're here to fix the industry. I'm part of IAPA. IAPA is the International Association for Amusement Parks and Attractions. They have a huge conference at the Orlando Convention Center in Orlando, Florida, every year. It's the North American place to be if you're an amusement ride builder. And we're there. We're always there. We've been there since 2009. But the cases are stacking up. And so when I started getting into expert witness work, I decided to reinvent this 25-pound trolley that I sold to Park City Mountain Resort for $2,000 in 2002, sold them 30, and we're making this our new trolley. Our new brand, the Park City Mountain Trolley. Safest in the world. 24 years accident-free. You know what the numbers are today? 1 in every 6,700 zipliners are injured. And that came from an insurance company that predicted that in 2023. We're ZipSafe. We're building things. We have products because we're going to zap the industry. Zap is a project that we're taking another level. ZipSafe Aerial Products, or future ZipSafe Aerial Adventure Products. Auto braking trolleys work, even with the lightest riders. All weights of riders ride in the same position. Once you move this adjustment to apply weight, because wherever you are in between the wheel and the brake, that's how you slow down. Closer to the brake, steeper slope. Like this one, similar, Park City Mountain. I need strategic players. I'm doing it. I'm getting it done. I'm building things, but I'm not doing it fast enough. I've got a great team. I've got a great director of my board. Several people in here are on my board, or have been, that I've worked with. They know me. We would love to build this, but right now, we're just gonna put safer trolleys, auto braking trolleys on every zip line, because that's needed right now. This is down the road. At Adventure Park, 6 stories high, we want to build in Utah County and have 100 zip lines on the park. And we can do it because we can go down 45-degree slopes. Pretty amazing. But I can't do it alone. We're asking the investor to come up with about $300,000 so that we can take this to the next level. Where I'm paying for the product refinement right now as an expert witness, I'm actually doing quite good. But building these products feels like shooting yourself in the foot. Because now the accidents are gonna go down, but I might win if my products go up. Park City Mountain Resort is the safest zip line. If you want to go zip lining at a safe place, you never have to worry there. So picture this. A 6-month ROI on a course in 2002. And it's 24 years of accident-free. And it paid $2,000 per trolley. We sell this one for $500. There's 500 zipline companies just in the US. Our projections are huge, but we need to get it done. There's my contact information. Please reach out to me if you're interested in taking this next level. But keep in mind, we are kind of betting amusement ride type investors, because it's not, we don't want a silent partner. We need people who want to make a difference with us and zap the industry into safer zip lines. Thank you.
Troy is a perfect example. 7 minutes, right from the money. With timing.
It rang right on time.
You see? Right, yeah. So therefore, any questions, insight, and feedback, I got it right there.
Yeah, see.
So you were saying that the new pulley is like $500 for the part. What's the cost for installation?
Oh, I just sent some out to the Little Munchkin Pumpkin Patch in Alma, Kansas. And I said, basically just take it out there, put it on take the old pulley off, throw it in the garbage or use it for a tea for your bathroom. I like that. And then you put this on. And the way we set these up is each one of these are set up for like different slopes. This is for a typical slope for just about any zip line that uses that type of pulley. And basically you set it on the cable so it's not affected by water, which we had a problem with this one with water because the brake ran on the bottom. I'm an engineer. I see things and I'm like, we can fix this. We can do better. But I'm not the sales guy. I'm not the, guy that takes the company to the next level. Even though I've been a serial entrepreneur for 3 decades. I can see a vision, but getting us there is tough. When you want to grow as big as we want to grow, truly.
So easy to replace.
Yeah, easy to replace. So what we're doing, the industry's doing today is every braking product gets returned for a recertification. So why change? So we're gonna have them buy this 500, send it back to us once a year, so we can check the wheel, check the brake. If we have to replace parts, we do that. But literally, this trolley just sits on the cable. You put the carabiner on. You figure out what position all riders will be in, because you don't change it for weights of riders. This takes the momentum out of the factor with friction. And so, it's really simple. We sent this out to that pumpkin catch. They didn't even call me. I sent them a manual. It was that simple. I try to make things simple. When you build our spring system, I can put a 10-spring system on in 30 minutes. That's a braking system in 30, that's unheard of in the industry.
So, I assume your purpose here today is for us to help you improve your
Truly.
education. And so I'm gonna do that with love and with clarity.
Appreciate it.
You said something speech about something about shooting yourself in the foot, and it sounded really negative.
Well, and what shooting myself in the foot stops the 100 accidents that I've already
I
invested.
didn't understand the analogy.
I know, and that's,
so it was
I
very,
threw that in because I saw a squirrel and I chased it.
yeah. I didn't see, so if you're trying to get investors, then I was missing a clear call to action, like, okay, now what do I do? What are you exactly looking for? I saw some list of, looked like other investors, I couldn't read it from back here, but I wasn't sure what you wanted from me. And also, I didn't see anything like you did say like a 6-month return on investment, that was very interesting. But I don't see how you get to that. You said 500 zipline companies in the United States. If each sale is $60,000 to 500 zipline companies, it seems like you're done in 2 years, so I don't see that. I don't see the long-term.
Well, we get a reoccurring with recertification.
Yeah, but maybe.
And then
the
these are only
recertification-
guaranteed for 4 years, so we
Yeah,
got a
maybe,
4-year.
maybe just a basic pro forma, like, this is how much we get from
Yeah.
sales, and then this is how much we get from ongoing revenue, that would be very important to
Yeah.
me. And then I found the beginning part of it disturbing. I don't know how to say it, maybe it only affected me that way. It was maybe there was the terminology dirty little secret, like I would just like, maybe just I understand you're trying to do a problem statement, trying to explain,
It's an article I wrote.
Yeah.
The dirty little secret.
But it was, obviously, I think we can all understand that braking accidents are a problem, and not having braking accidents is better. I liked the use of the 205 million or 105 million, whatever it was, as an example of as the cost of it. I like that, but it just seemed like it was, I don't know, I just felt disturbed.
Yeah, it's disturbing to me. I am tired of reading autopsies.
I don't know if I
You
would
know,
say
and-
that. Yeah.
No, you don't wanna bring that up, but if you can prove safety and get somebody saying, hey, we're gonna change the industry.
Yeah, maybe more time on the solution and less time on the problem is very clear. You don't have to really go into a lot of detail about the problem, in my opinion.
Thanks, Kirby.
So,
Sorry, right behind you. Right.
Thank you. First of all, I always love your feedback, by the way. I'm like, you're fantastic. So I agree with like 95% of what you said, because I was sitting here, Dan and I are like, let's see, Dan and I are super adventurous, like hikes and all the fun things, adrenaline junkies. And I was sitting here, and I leaned over to Dan, I was like, well, here's a fear I didn't know I needed to have. So, like,
There I am, I'm letting you know.
I thought that was really good. For those that lead with their heart and before they lead with their wallet, perhaps the 205 million, you could have a double punch of, hey, like, look how dumb this company is. They had to drop 205 million because when they could have spent $500 with me. On the other hand, and this little girl died.
Yeah.
I think that was a missed opportunity for you to yank our chair off underneath us. Right? So I thought that was really cool. The other thing is, as an investor, I liked you hit that you were like doing great. You don't need us, but to go faster. Little idea. I don't know what the statistics are of how like often someone dies, but if you were to say by the time there's an accident, by the time you left your house today until right now, 3 people have fallen off the zip line, whatever, right? Like a little hit. And then what does an investor actually look like? Just exactly what you were saying. Like, is it $500 or is it $5 million? Like, where are we going with that? But seriously, awesome job.
Well, and keep in mind, I'm in a master's program, and this master's over here at UVU, Engineering and Technology Management, allows me to use a real-world project like the ZipSafe products. And I've been creating metrics for 3 semesters. So I've got engineering economics that are just amazing. The cost-benefit ratio to a community for what we're gonna do at the big challenge course, our people are gonna be ambassadors. It's gonna be an untold wellness center to go to this park, because we're gonna lift people. That loneliness is gonna slip away.
I'd like to know a little bit more how it's tested, how your new technology is tested
Yeah.
for safety.
Well, the technology, this patent, so I have 5 US patents that are current. This patent just expired, and it was for that Park City Mountain friction braking trolley. So the innovation is just there, we've got it.
Is it being used right now?
In different places. So over the years, I've sold about an average of 50,000, but this year, it's like, I'm so busy as an expert witness, I can't do this. My bandwidth is up. And unless you're gonna pay me $400 an hour, why change?
I didn't hear anything about patents in your presentation.
I know, but there was a little patent icon that showed up, and you can watch this presentation on YouTube at my Troy Richardson Accident-Free Ziplines channel.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, Trey, sorry.
So,
Well, you go ahead.
so the total addressable market is how large in dollars?
Well, we've got a present value of the company about 5 million. Future value, just with the park, is 27 million.
That's your story.
Total addressable market. How many dollars worth of those things can you sell in the next 3 or 4 years?
Well, every park, so you got 500 parks,
Okay, how many?
and they'll need 30, just like Park City Mountain Resort. But the problem is parks aren't equal.
Right, I get it, I get it.
One has 300 zip lines on the park, and they're a partner of mine, American Adventure.
I just want to get an idea. And then what about, any trademark issues with Park City Mountain using those 3 words that they use?
It's all right.
Okay,
I got 1,800 attorneys that follow me on LinkedIn.
okay.
You know, and realistically, I mean, this thing it's easy to make, it's lightweight. We've got new innovations we're working with. Our engineers are doing all the PE stuff. So we're in line. We just need to take it to the next level, but there's some money. Now I can get you the exact numbers if you want.
No, I just wanted
No,
to get
I
a
mean-
ballpark.
Well, 30 apiece is 15,000, 500 parks is 7.5 million.
That's
At
exactly what I
100%
have.
penetration, if you have everybody, you really have to keep emphasizing the ongoing revenue, or else it's just not a big enough market.
Yeah, and that's why the industry's already set there with the ongoing revenue. Headrest Technologies makes you take down their zip stop, send it back, and that thing takes you all day long to put in. Great. And I'll go back to saying.
Well, there's been a touch here is that you've got the one-time $500 you're focusing on. I don't think you're hitting the real number, which is the returns for the inspections
Right.
that are required on an ongoing basis. So you have a residual company, not a one-time sales company of the $500 item. So I think that having something that says we sell, once we sell one of these into the market, it's worth $4,000 over the next 10 years. Because they've got to send them back, we replace parts, we certify, it's $200 a zip
That's a good point.
per pulley, and they're gonna send 30 of them to us every time.
Yeah.
So we're getting boxes coming in of these residual re-inspections and recertifications. That to me, it's like you're trying to sell the cell phone for $1,000, but not the next 10 years of
Plan.
$35 a month.
Good point.
So I think that I would look more into that ongoing revenue stream. And I think you do well expressing that you're an engineer trying to become a salesman right now.
Mhm.
Don't do too much of it. Just, it's true, you are, it's impressive.
Well, I got a master's in English
Yeah.
as an engineer.
Yeah,
That's a whole nother language.
No, I said but it allows the crossover understanding, but now polish it with the residual income stream and just kind of get that statement, that knowledge out, but then nail the presentation. Because I know you rehearsed, I know you do a good job.
Yeah, you caught me off guard.
No, you
A
do.
week early, but
No,
I.
you did awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Back here in Inwood.
Yeah, so, I can empathize a lot with, like the way that you gave the presentation, because I'm a guy that likes to get into the weeds. I like to see how the gears mesh together. I like all that. But for this kind of presentation and the objective for it, I guess I'll just share some things that I've found that's helped me, tighten things up a bit.
Well, just so you know, when you walk in, I'm like, there's the guy that needs to be presenting more. Good.
Yeah, I gotta take pictures later today, so that's why I'm on speed. One thing that I ask anytime I'm gonna speak to somebody, and anytime that the objective is to persuade them to act on something, the question I ask is, what do they need to know? And that one question alone usually cuts off a lot of the fluff, because I know it's like, say with some financial things, like, oh, I know, like, I know all the percentages, and I know the little writers, and I know all these little things that go on. Like, I can design it for somebody, the way they need it, but do they need to know every little tiny thing that I know? They don't. They just need to know, like, the bare bones. They just need to know the skeleton of the thing, so they know how it functions, so they know what the next step is. And so, like, that's,
Good point. So
Yeah.
kind of like a mind map where you have the main focus.
exactly, yeah.
I love your presentation. I think in the end, you should keep your logo there, not turn it off everything. You know, help to people memorize what is the name of your company. Don't focus much on the negative part, because what are you saying? You are saying happiness. You know, people wanna go there and have fun. But if you focus too much, I say, oh, thank you, I'm not going.
I'm just deciding.
I'm afraid now. I know,
No, don't. You're gonna be safer with us.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. When you go ziplining, you have ZipSafe Products.
Yeah, she's just saying spend more time on the positive.
Yeah.
Well,
Less
I'm
time on
gonna
the
share
negative.
with you, one of my mottos in life is
Be
be
fun
safe,
and feel safe.
be safe and have fun. And so when I'm watching my nieces and nephews, my children, two goals, be safe and have fun. And so this really appealed to me because I'm an adventurer, right? But I also wanna do it in a very safe way. So we can emphasize, get to that sharp negative point, get that out of the way, but then again, bring those solutions like everyone's saying. I think that's great. Yeah, thank you.
So I had a question about, so on one hand, you were talking about how safe it is, but when I went on a zip line, once you put that on, does it cut down the fun that you have? Like, does it cut down the speed?
You know, that's a good point, because after 15 miles an hour, and you don't have safety glasses, you can't see. Your eyes are watering. And this trolley here was designed for 60 miles an hour. But the thing that we found is slowing people down from the start instead of speeding them up from the start allows them to enjoy the ride. Say you're going over some giant thing in Hawaii or wherever. The thing is, we can do it. We can do a 45-degree slope. We go from point to point to point, but now you're safer. And when I was down there at that little tiny church camp down there in Levi, the kids told me, because the guy said, which trolley do you want to use, the slow one or the fast one?
Okay.
We want to do the slow one. They want to be safe. They weren't these thrill seekers that are like, hey, get me on this thing, and you know.
Maybe something that you can use to start off is to pose a question like, hey, who in the audience here would love to fly down the side of a mountain and never be scared? That's what we provide.
And that, I missed that, because I have a picture of this. But, so the YouTube video has my notes and everything, and more rehearsed. And it literally says, picture this, now you're not worried because Zap has your back. That's all we got.
That'll be the last one.
That was it. But you can get with me anytime after LinkedIn. I'll put it back up if we need to. Thank you.
Thanks, Troy.
Sorry, I came in late, everyone saw me, so I didn't see the presentation.
What you doing, Keelan?
I know, right? But from all the questions, I could tell that there was something that felt unclear to me. Like, who is the actual buyer of this, and what do they want? Was that's something that I felt like wasn't clearly communicated, because from what I could tell, it sounds like the buyers are actually the parks.
Yeah.
But then it sounds like to me you're also talking about the people themselves who are using the zip line, but they're not paying you, they're paying the park to use the zip line. So.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about that. So, y'all know Rolly's Red Barn down there in Santaquin, where I'm from. So, I heard, I'm like, oh no, we've got a zip line next to me, we better make sure they're safe. So I go down there and I sell them a series of springs, okay? So Jace Rolly calls me up and says, hey, I want to try your trolley this year. So he put the trolley on last year. You know what he said to me? I've never slept better. Because this is a loss of sleep, because there's so many accidents. And that's a big sell for these owners. That's who we're trying to sell to, is owners. But we want to market to guides and managers and anybody that wants to be safer.
Beautiful. We'll close right there. We have one last question for you. What is it that we can do for you? Give you another 30 seconds. As 1 million Cubs community, what is one thing that we can do for you based on where you are right now and where you wanna be?
You know, I think the big thing right now is finances. I've got the team. I got, my director and my board was instrumental in Overstock.com. Peter J., the old director, is my PMK, person most knowledgeable. You know, Jim's on my board. You know, I could use more board members. We're actually adding some people, and, but really, we just need the money to take us to that next level. I mean, I could borrow it.
So with the money, are you looking for connection with people, money,
For
or
sure.
investment?
Yeah, people
Okay.
that wanna go with me to change the industry.
And he's gonna be around. If you have other insight and questions, he will be here. If you have presented here, you have not received a cup, I want you to know that I have some in my office, and I'll be glad to give you one. So, my friend, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I will. Okay, give me a minute.